many churches and towns there is a plaque in honour of those who never came back. They call them the fallen. But I don't think they fell. I believe they were felled, so fortunes could be made and power upheld. For makers of weapons make millions and more and grab what they can as the spoils of war. Their only concern is making a profit. What can they make, and what can they make of it? Bombs and bullets, guns and grenades, uniforms, armaments, and kits for first aid. Vehicles, ships, aircrafts and tanks all make great profits to put in the banks. Then when peace is declared and fighting's all done, it's time to ensure rebuilding's begun. And countries just fall into the hands of the greedy who don't give a damn for the hurt or the needy. When contracts are awarded and cash changes hands, it's easy to see it might all have been planned. And so off to war went our menfolk and youths, with no idea they'd been sold untruths, no idea of the horrors they'd face, and that many would die with never a trace. And those who returned would never forget the trauma of war and the horrors they'd met. And many family men who answered the calling have since been referred to simply as fallen. Fallen? I don't think they fell. I believe they were felled so fortunes could be made and power upheld. This poem was written last year in honour of Armistice Day, which is on the 11th. Armistice Day, 11th of November, is a day folk will always remember. 'Tis a day to honour the glorious dead, who bravely into battle were led. And so at the 11th hour, on the 11th day, folk would fall silent and quietly pray. Homage they paid to all those who fought, those who died and those who got caught and imprisoned and deprived of hope, with only their faith to help them to cope. So, Armistice Day at the 11th hour, along with the symbol of a red poppy flower, became one of those unwritten laws for folk to take a moment to pause. Traffic would respectfully come to a stop, and shopkeepers would all stop serving in shops. Tributes and poppy wreaths would gently be laid by old soldiers and leaders on solemn parades. For a brief moment of time, everything stilled as folk paid homage to those who'd been killed. But as time moved on, it seemed to officials that the nearest Sunday would be more beneficial. So now let's fast forward to 2024, 100 years plus since the end of that war. That war, the war to end all wars, they said, should have brought peace and no more dead. The brave men who died so peace might prevail would be horrified to see today's weapons on sale. Tanks and bombs and bullets and drones and explosive devices detonated by phones. Who gives a toss? Not the leaders for sure, when many of them have investments in war. Stopping the peace talks so their cronies and them can make more money from the murder of men. And the murder of children, their mums and their dads, aunts and uncles and grands and granddads. Bombs dropped on schools, hospitals just rubble, people buried beneath and in terrible trouble. Rescuers try in their desperation to dig them out of that devastation. trying so hard with hands bloody and sore, till the cries of the injured are heard no more. Animals too get horribly maimed. Tragically, they're just more pawns in the game. And the game is a big one with players aplenty, profiting nicely from each engineered frenzy. This bunch of selfish, well-dressed brutes are nothing more than thugs in suits, making millions from arms and munitions, shielded by pals in powerful positions. Have they too got money in stocks and shares? Is this why they don't seem to care? Well, lest we forget on this Remembrance Day, our taxes from our hard-earned pay fund weapons for wars far from our home. And we can't even care for our own. Our precious elders, our cherished treasures, are living with much fewer pleasures. They're trying hard to make ends meet, and now must choose to heat or eat. So fast forward to the Sunday's parades, when many will watch as wreaths are laid. Politicians wearing poppies, pretending to care. It's all just for show, because they have to be there. So let's not be fooled by shows of bowed heads, as if they were truly honouring the dead. Let's not be fooled by silver-tongued speeches, when in truth they're behaving like leeches, splitting up families and separating friends in order to serve their nefarious ends. It's time for us people to really unite, to stop petty arguments that cause folk to fight, to realise in time before it's too late that love is the solution to eliminate hate. There is a more loving way through, and that loving way could just start with you. So I'm asking you all to please heed this call, because united we stand, divided we fall. If we are united, we can't be untied, and that would honour the ones who died. And if you look at the word united, it's the same letters as the word untied. We have to get united and not be untied by the people that would separate us. This one is called May Peace Prevail. May all wars end and may peace prevail, and may people seek peace like some seek the Grail. They call it the Grail, the cup or the chalice. If they filled it with peace, they'd make earth a palace. Your heart is a chalice, so fill it up to the brim, until peace spills over and you can't keep it in. And when that happens, you just radiate light. There's no room for hate, and you won't want to fight. So give love a chance, and let peace prevail, and you'll get given it back, because it's never for sale. So give peace a go. There's nothing to lose. Do you want war or peace? What will you choose? Peace starts in the heart. Where does peace start? It starts in the heart. War just tears us all apart. So let love rise up and radiate. Let's put an end to war and hate. Let's put an end to war and greed. Let's help those who are in need. Let's start a movement of toleration. Let it become a celebration of our uniqueness. And this is not a show of meekness, but a sharing of our skills to work together to soothe all ills. So let's make music and join in song, and with love and peace, we'll get along. And I'm reminded of that lovely nursery rhyme. Row, row, row the boat gently up the short stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Well, my version is stamp, stamp, stamp for peace. And I've forgotten the rest. Never mind. But I'm just going to finish up now with a few thoughts on arms. We're told about arms and armaments and people selling arms and bearing arms. Well, put down your weapons, your guns, knives and spears. Put down those arms that reduce folk to tears. Arms were made for hugging, not to maim and kill, inflicting misery and suffering and causing untold pain. Arms were made for holding, they're extensions of the heart. So let's link arms together, let's not get pulled apart. United we stand, steadfast and strong. We're standing for peace and we're singing our song. Give peace a chance is what we demand. So drop all the weapons and hold out your hand. Look your neighbour in the eye and speak of we, not me and my. Take the filters from off your eyes and know that we may have been told lies. And are we so good and just and fair to start a war that's over there? To tell others how to live their lives while we are pointing guns and knives? What right have we got to play God when we with just a wink and nod can change from bad to good then bad and shoot to kill if we get mad? It's time to end these wars of greed, look after the sick and those in need. It's time for peace throughout the lands. It's time to link our arms and hands, to use our arms to hold and share and show each other that we care. When we change and dare to care, when we love and give and share, that is when we often find the universe responds in kind. And there are those who do believe that when you give, you must receive, and balance the scales of out and in, just like nature's yang and yin. Because energy loves to move and flow, creating stockpiles makes it slow. So take enough for what you need, not lots more from fear or greed. For that is where the problems start, so dare to care and act from heart. Dare to care and give and share, because change starts here, not over there. Thank you. This is the Glastonbury Peace of Heart project. Thank you.
And the date? Say the date.
It's the 9th of November 2025, Remembrance Sunday.